All right, let's talk about something that sounds like it's straight out of a mystery novel. We're talking about a massive lake in India. I mean, the absolute lifeline for an entire community. And then one day, in just a matter of hours, poof, it was gone.
When I say lake, I'm not talking about some little pond in a backyard. This thing was 100 acres. To put that in perspective for you, that's roughly the size of 75 football fields. A stable, reliable source of life for a whole village just vanished in an instant.
So the big question is, how does that even happen? Seriously, where does an entire lake go? Well, stick with me because the answer is probably not what you're thinking. Okay, let's set the scene. We're in a village called Lachur in Maharashtra, India. And for generations, for as long as anyone could remember, this one lake was everything, the center of their universe. This village was completely 100% dependent on this water. This wasn't just some pretty spot to look at. Nope. This was the heart of their economy, the key to their survival. Every single drop of water they drank, every bit they used for their farms, for their livestock, it all came from this one place. And this is where the story just goes off the rails. For decades, everything was fine, totally normal. Then, one night, deep down under the lake bed, something shifted. By the time the sun came up, the water level was way down. By noon, it was nothing more than a giant, empty, muddy pit. An entire 100-acre lake drained in just a few hours. Unbelievable. Can you even imagine the panic? People were absolutely terrified. Was it some kind of curse? Did a massive earthquake happen that they somehow missed? Did a giant sinkhole just open up and swallow the whole thing? The theories were just flying, all born from sheer terror and confusion. But the real reason? Well, it was something nobody could have ever seen coming.
So naturally, with all this panic spreading, the authorities and scientists show up. They had one job: get past all the wild theories and find a real scientific explanation for what seemed, well, impossible.
Their investigation started right there, on the now exposed empty lake bed. You had geologists and hydrologists crawling all over the place, taking samples, studying the soil, basically looking for any clue, anything at all, that could tell them where billions of gallons of water just went.
And what they found was just stunning. The lake hadn't evaporated. Nobody had secretly siphoned it off. Nope. What happened was a huge crack had opened up right underneath it. They called it the geological drain. It's literally like someone pulled a giant plug at the bottom of a bathtub. All that water just funneled straight down deep into the earth. Okay, but figuring out what happened is only half the puzzle. The real head-scratcher was, why? Why now? Why would this underground drain just suddenly form and give way after being stable for decades?
Well, the investigators pinpointed two main culprits, and they worked together. First, for years, people had been drilling tons of bore wells nearby. They were pulling massive amounts of groundwater out of the earth, and that slowly but surely weakened the whole soil structure underneath the lake. Then you add in the second piece. Bigger climate variations were making the land itself more unstable. It was basically a perfect storm of human activity and environmental stress. So in the end, the mystery of the vanishing lake, it wasn't a curse. It wasn't some random act of nature. It was a long, slow environmental chain reaction set off by years and years of using water in a way that just wasn't sustainable.
So the scientific mystery was solved. Case closed, right? Well, not for the people of Latour. For them, the real disaster was just getting started. And believe it or not, the story was about to take another very strange turn.
You can just imagine, right? The impact was immediate, and it was devastating. Their only source of water was gone overnight. The village was thrown into a massive crisis. Crops were drying up. Their livestock were suffering. Families had to start walking for miles every day just to get enough water to drink.
But here's where this already crazy story gets even weirder. While the folks in Lachut were in the middle of this crisis, the water from their lake, it hadn't just disappeared into nothing. It was on the move.
Get this, miles and miles away, in totally different regions, something incredible started to happen. Wells that had been dry for ages were suddenly filling up with water. And yep, scientists confirmed it. It was the water from the vanished lake. It had traveled all that way through these hidden underground channels and was now popping back up somewhere else entirely.
So this incredible event, it wasn't just a story about a couple of villages. It ended up becoming a huge, powerful lesson for scientists all over the world.
What this incident proved, in a really dramatic way, is that our natural water systems are way more connected and unpredictable than we tend to realize. What we do in one place can have these invisible ripple effects somewhere else. The ground under our feet isn't just solid rock. It's this incredibly complex, interconnected plumbing system that, honestly, we're only just starting to truly understand.
Ultimately, this whole story is just a powerful reminder that our actions, even something that seems as small as drilling a well, can have these massive, unforeseen consequences. I think one of the researchers summed it up perfectly. They said, nature reacts to every action we take, often in unexpected and dramatic ways.
So yeah, the story of Latcher's Lake really shows how easy it is for us to miss these huge, vital connections happening right under our noses until it's too late. And it kind of leaves us with one last really important question to think about. What hidden environmental connections are we missing right now?